Ever since leaving city life and moving to Sweden, to a little old house in the countryside, spring means that everything becomes a little bit easier. The days are longer, the warmer temperatures mean it's easier to work outside, but it's also the start of the busy season. Right now, I'm continuing to work on my toilet room renovation. A few weeks ago, I took out the plasterboard I'd installed initially because I was struggling with surface mold. I replaced everything with natural materials, and my first project is to finish all the trim this week. I am excited about getting my toilet back and starting the first projects outside. I'm on my little road. I'm almost home. They put lots of brine stones on the road, so it's a bit difficult to ride. But I picked up all of my trim. Spent the morning at the wood shop. And I also got some of those spaces that they keep in between the timber. Because I've got a little outdoor project I've been meaning to finish, and I think I can use those for that really well. Oh, I can see my little house. Cute. I feel a little bit sad about painting these really nice pieces of timber, but I think it's going to look good in space. A few years ago, I bought this hops thinking it was going to climb up here and look all beautiful, and it's never really done all that much. I made these steps and it's planted last year, so it's sort of risen off the ground. But yeah, I don't know whether it's happy here. I might relocate it somewhere else, but regardless, I'm going to have a climbing plant of some sort here. And I always wanted to make a trellis so I can climb up. So that's what I'm going to do. It's good to see that there is some new growth. Look, there's a couple of little ones. I need to make some mild adjustments to this. I wanted this to be flush with this because it's going to help me put up this trellis a little bit. This used to be my trellis. Okay, now I have a nice clean slate to make a new one. I just finished reading this book. It is so cute. There's more books in this series, so I'll probably end up reading all of them. And now it's time for this one. I'm very excited about this book. I can finally continue with this. 2 layers of paint, days of waiting. Finally dry enough to put up inside. Okay, I'm actually going to finish this redoing of this little toilet room. I was having surface mold issues, so I took out all of the plasterboard, any plastic that I'd used, and replaced everything with natural materials. And now I am doing the trim, and then I can put my toilet back in and actually use it. I always really like the idea of the colour of the ceiling going into the corners and the colour of the floor going up into the skirting. So that's what I've done here. Haven't been able to do it anywhere else, so I did it here, except this doesn't fit. Oops. Now it fits. I'm using this very basic thin trim around the door. And I've got quarter round pieces for all of the corners. This is what I have. I found these little brass nails, and they're really nice actually because the tips are a little bit rounded, which means that you don't really end up smashing in the timber when you get to the last blows to get it in the wood. I mean, sometimes you do, but I've been redoing this bit around the window. It's been a bit tricky, but I think I have something that looks quite decent now. Okay, that's quite cute. I actually like this window trim now. I thought it was done, but actually I've got one more thing. A light that I didn't make myself. Goodbye, little light. Look! I finished my little toilet revamp. From dark green plasterboards to a light timber space. I like it. This unit still works great. It's got toilet paper, a bin for rubbish, a bin for sawdust. I've got a little shelf for toilet rolls. Yeah, the trim actually looks really cute. I'm really hoping that I am going to be able to manage my moisture issue so that I can keep this nice and clean. Happy days! I am on my mini bike and I'm going to a little trail. I am on a 10-kilometer hike. There are some very pretty lakes here. Lots of frogs. There are so many frogs on this path. I'm trying to get better balance in just my life in general. So I'm putting effort in going places and enjoying the reason why I'm actually here. So cute. I have never been here. This is actually not far from me. I cycled for less than half an hour, very slowly. And there's this route, but it's an unmarked route, so I'm trying to not lose my way. Look at these tiny frogs. Whenever I see them, they just sit there, stop moving.
Hello there. Yay. Would you like an apple? Okay, I'll just... Bye-bye.
I think this is the 5th tiny lake that I'm walking around. I've only just glanced at my seeds and I'm already incredibly overwhelmed because I just have too many. So the idea was to simplify things this year, but I feel like it's just too much for me to even... like I don't even know where to start. I think I'm going to put some seeds in here. Okay, I am going to start with a few flowers. I'm going to put those in these little pots. A few years ago I bought lots of flower seeds and I sowed a bunch of them. Barely anything came up, so I sort of gave up, but I have all of these seeds now and I figured they're probably not going to last forever, so I'm just sowing them in these little things. I'm sure some of them are supposed to be scattered somewhere, but I don't really have anywhere to scatter anything. I figured I'm going to sow as much as I can, and then if anything comes up I'll just try and put them somewhere. So I have sown a load of flowers, vegetables, and then I have a bunch of seeds that I'm going to sow directly later on in this greenhouse and outside. So that's a start. This is very tricky. I'm trying to figure this out, but there's so many different planes that I'm dealing with that I feel as if I'm going to just have to do it on the go, but I'm not very good at that. I did a sketch, but the sketch doesn't really matter, like unless I would do a complete 3D model, very accurate one. I'm just going to have to start building something and I hope that this plant is just going to grow so well that you'll never see the trellis ever again. Okay, because I want it here, but then this is where I can fix it. This is where it needs to go towards. How do I start? I'm using a couple of scrap bits of wood that I found lying around the deck from making it last year. It's quite useful. And how do we like this? Ah. I've got the plant in the box, a vertical one going up, a horizontal from the wall wrapping around the column. Then I'm going to repeat this horizontal one at the top, and in the end I'll put lots of little slats in between all of them. I have such interesting luck today with pieces of timber just fitting perfectly. Got leftovers that just happen to fit in a spot. I got one piece off and then the rest just happens to fit on the other end. It's really funny. Anyways, I have made a little contraption and it's very different from what I wanted to do, because originally I was going to do like a diagonal shape. So I could sort of force the climbing plant to sort of go towards the front, but the way that I'm able to construct it, it sort of just makes sense to do it like this. So now I have a giant rectangle and it also wraps around the column, and I have all of these. I have a bunch of these spaces from the shop and I'm going to use these to create the slats. And so a trellis is born. Hopefully. Okay, I managed to put in all of these. I didn't quite have enough of these spaces to finish on this side, but I don't know if I need to finish it. I mean, this is quite a bit bigger than I imagined it to be. It was going to be a bit more subtle than this. But hopefully, if ever I do get a climbing plant that actually climbs and grows, it will be able to grow all the way up here. And then in my imagination, this would just be a big, green, flowery, amazing, you know, vine. In my imagination, it's amazing. In reality, there's a lot of tiny bits of wood here. But one day it's going to be amazing. So this has turned into a bit of a contraption, but it turned out to be quite tricky because of the layering of where everything was. The plant, the bench and the column, and obviously I needed to fix a trellis to something. It couldn't be floating in space. So it's a little bigger, but imagine this hops could just cover all of this and go up this little porch area. The potential here is grand.